10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Whack Attack. Today is January 23rd, and yeah, I've been away for a few days and I missed you guys, but I'm here now. So let's get started. So, Jasper said, it's happening, it's fucking happening. Now, what was Jasper talking about? No one knows. So, people were just like, fire, but then nobody really said anything. Nobody really commented on what Jasper was saying, and people were just talking about other things. And then Jasper says, you all aren't freaking out enough. So basically, I saw these messages and I was like, Jasper, is Chainlink happening? And he's like, shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, because obviously Chainlink, right? Like, it was one of the big things that was left that we didn't really have either a date for or a timeline for. Like, you know, Aave, we already know what's happening with that, with withdrawals and Atlas and all that kind of stuff. We have tentative dates and like timelines. Binance, we already got listed. So it was the one big thing that was left that we didn't really know what was happening with it. Like, the status was unknown. So Jasper was kind of freaking out. So he'd already been kind of like giving hints about it. And he says, like, Famous Old Spice says, what exactly is happening? And he says, I can't say, but it's fucking huge. And it's really big. It's really huge. Like, it unlocks so many DeFi applications, because Chainlink will provide the price oracle, right? And with their price oracle, they'll be able to anchor all of DeFi, because the Rocket Pool contracts are not reliable enough, and Uniswap is not reliable enough. So Chainlink is definitely the gold standard for oracles. So it's going to unlock so many things. So even people were already guessing, kind of like patches saying Chainlink then, and basically that, like, people were already guessing, but Jasper did a really good job of keeping the lid on it. Even Marceau got involved. I don't have the link for that message yet, but Marceau popped into trading and was like, oh, it's happening, or something along those kind of lines, but didn't really say anything, and that they couldn't say anything. And then Doublemint was like kind of guessing, and he says, Jasper hinted at something big earlier, followed by an elusive Marceau post stating he would reveal it in an hour if Jasper was unwilling. Seems that several folks know what it is, but suddenly clammed up for some reason. Rumour has it the team started threatening to send bags of large venomous Australian spiders to anyone who talked. Citation needed. Some have claimed they figured it out. That was me, and that it's obvious if you're paying attention. That was me, but still unwilling to state. I didn't state it because it's not my place to state it, and what they think it might happen, and also because Jasper told me in DMs what it was when I told him that's what it was. Maybe we're finally getting Chainlink. So even Doublemint here was like on the right guess. Maybe Vitalik is joining the oDAO. That would be really, really amazing. But as far as I know, that's not happening at the moment. And maybe Elon Musk will be staking Tesla's cash reserves via rETH. That would be really cool too. Maybe personally auditing the Atlas code, I don't think that's worth anything. And maybe Taylor Swift is joining the dev team. That would be cool. Maybe we're getting a football field named after us. Rocket Pool field at crypto.com arena. Anyone? I don't care about that much. I've got more guesses, but they're even dumber than the ones I've just written. So basically, he started with like a really good guess, which was the right guess. Maybe we're finally getting Chainlink. And yeah, so good job, Doublemint. Okay, and then Jasper said, I guess he was hinting it with like the C, and he says C stood for Chainlink. Chainlink agrees we met the Oracle requirements for rETH and will soon begin work on market feed. This does not mean that the Oracle will be live anytime soon. It's still up to Chainlink to decide that the Oracle should be turned on, and there's some meetings coming. The timeline is unclear. However, the wheels are turning favorably, and that's really, really cool to see. Yeah, I think it's huge. Sadly, there's still some question marks about it. But like when it's gonna happen. But I think it's gonna be really big going forward. Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Okay, and then another thing Jasper was saying a few days ago, he's saying RPL probably qualifies for a Chainlink Oracle now. So for those of you who don't know, the RPL volume has literally skyrocketed, even on DEXs after the Binance listing. I think there's arbs happening across exchanges that people are taking part in using like big amounts of money, and that is adding a lot of volume to RPL, which is really, really fantastic to see. So maybe, you know, we'll get an RPL Chainlink Oracle too, which would be fantastic. So that's maybe something for a little bit after we get the ETH one. So this really cool piece of information was given out by Joe that not too many people seem to have caught up on when it first happened. He says, sounds like we may have provisionally decided on a date for Atlas, so I'm bullish. So we've talked about the date of Atlas on Rocket Fuel a few times. Initially, you know, we had an optimistic idea that would be beginning of February, and then that kind of got moved to the middle of February, towards the end of February, and now it looks like it might be week 2 of March. And it all depends on audits, right? Like if the audits bring back big issues, then it's going to get pushed back. If the audits bring back minimal issues, then, you know, we should be on track for a good date. It's undergoing, as far as I know, the second audit right now, and that will hopefully be done on any day now, I think, maybe next week. And then it's going to go into testnets, and then the whole of the team is going to Denver. So I think that's going to put a break on the release of Atlas. So my best guess right now is the week after Denver, which would put us like in week 2 of March, which I think would be absolutely amazing. I'm really excited to see how it's going to go. But we've had some hints that there've been some small bug fixes or issues on the Atlas contracts. However, no one's, you know, made any clear statement about that. But if they're working on a provisional date, then hopefully that is a very good sign. And Joe finishing by saying I'm bullish, he wouldn't be saying that unless that was the case. So of course, you know, there might be other issues that come up later, but right now things are looking good, and I'm really happy about that. Okay, so next we've got a couple of updates for you on the Smartnode stack front. So Joe says, attention all beta testers, today we're releasing version 1.8.0 beta 2. And he says this is meant for testing on Praetor only. Do not run this on mainnet unless you've been explicitly asked to do so by one of the rocket scientists for rescue node purposes. So then it has the information about what the updates are and where you can get it updated and all that good stuff. So that's really cool. And then Joe today, or a couple of days ago, released a statement saying we have important announcement for Nethermind users today. Nethermind just released version 1.16.0. Which has a lot of exciting new features, including better performance and lower RAM requirements. However, this version changes the underlying .NET framework that it uses from .NET 6 to .NET 7. We included a special .NET app with the Smartnode that allows users to prune Nethermind via the Rocket Pool service prune eth1 command, and this app was built for .NET 6, which seems to be incompatible with the new version. This means pruning will no longer work if you manually update to Nethermind version 1.16.0. I'm not sure exactly how you name those. We'll start working on version 1.7.4 Smartnode release to address this, or might just roll it into the 1.8 release depending on the feedback we get from the beta testers. Until then, if you manually update Nethermind, be advised that pruning will no longer work properly. I guess if you think that you might need to prune and you really want to update to the latest Nethermind, then maybe prune your system before you move to the latest Nethermind. But that's really cool. Thanks, Joe, for that update. Okay, next we have Valdorf with a mega post about governance stuff that's happening. So he says governance digest January 21st, 2023. But he did it the year, month, date format, which is actually, I think, the best way to do it. He says, hi all, there's a lot going down, so I wanted to summarize to make things easier for folks to participate. Number 1, IMC 6-month membership review, and then there's a link to it. And it says protocol settings for Atlas, and then there's a link. It says, for the membership review, it says, should we keep the current non-voted in folks, replace a few members, or do a full vote? And then for number 2, the protocol settings for Atlas, it says there's suggested settings updated for between Atlas and Shanghai Capella. Do you have big reservations, or is it ready for a vote? And then there's the GMC operations. There are suggested changes to the GMC, including 2 more members, changing to the quarterly cycles, and removing the limitations on the core team, in part because the definition wasn't clear. Do you have big reservation, or is it ready for a vote? And then number 4, self-limiting. there's a link to the forum. It says there's a suggested document with self-limiting principles. Do we have big reservations, or is it ready for a vote? And then Val says, I suspect there will be a number of snapshot votes coming out of these, ideally in a synchronized round of voting to minimize fatigue. Please let me know if I missed anything, or if you have an incoming thing that we might be well served including in the voting round. So Val, I know that you don't watch Rocket Fuel that often, but one of the things that we might need to add in the voting round will be challenges to the GMC. So I can give you guys a little bit of alpha about GMC right now. Is we're working on getting all the amounts finalized and like final discussions and formalizing our votes going into January 31st. At that point, we will release all the numbers of the grants that we have awarded, and those grants that we have either declined, rejected, or asked for deferment. That will all be coming out on January 31st. So according to the RPIP that set up the GMC, the community will then have a 2-week period to challenge any reward, whether they feel like, we rejected something that we should have accepted, or whether they feel like we accepted something we should have rejected, whether we're paying too much, whether we're paying too little. Like the community members will have to write an RPIP to get that out there within 2 weeks, and then that will be voted on. So then we might have a few votes for the GMC being added to that as well. So it looks like there'll be a full slate of governance stuff happening in a few weeks time. So maybe we can put all of that into one, but I don't know how that will work for Atlas dates. So yeah. Okay, next patches says the new rescue node is ready to take on beta testers. We're currently running the service on Praetor, so if you have Praetor validator and want to help us test it, please head over to rescuenode.com and follow the directions. If you want to test it with a new mini pool and your Praetor client aren't fully synced, be sure to use the latest beta version. And then that's the version there, version 1.8.0 beta 2. If you're interested in earning POAPs, make sure to keep track of your Praetor mnemonic. You will need it to claim any POAPs we issue for beta testers. So that was really cool. Fantastic, good stuff. Patches. Yeah, if you are using Praetor as a testnet operator, then head over there and sign up. Okay, next we had this comment from Vitalik Bolderin, who said whale marriage. And then there was like a thing about a small whale marriage. So let's move on. And then we got this from Invis saying that there was a 10,000 RPL staked, and it looks like it's from Marco Barco plus whoever the new whale marriage party is. And then we had a look at this rocket scan page where it says that the node is set up in New York in America. There's 128 mini pools in there for a total value locked of 5,213 ETH. So Marco set up 128 mini pools. The collateral percentage is around 151%, and they have 145,100 RPL. No, actually, yeah, 145,100 RPL staked. And the ETH amount staked is 2,048. So 64 validators worth, or 128 mini pools worth. So that was set up on January 17th, but they only started getting deposits and activity on January 19th. So that is all fully up and running now. Onto January 21st. So what's really funny is, even though they spun up 128 mini pools and they used Rocket Arb to use all of those mini pools, it didn't actually change the premium that much. The premium is still at around 1%. So if you want to set up a mini pool anytime soon, or a new node even, now is the time to do that, because you'll get all of your gas costs repaid pretty much, which is really exciting, because that can add up to be quite a lot. Okay, moving on. We had this milestone that Jasper shared information about. It says milestone reached 180,001 rETH has been issued. So this was from January 20th. rETH growth has been really good recently. Of course, Marco setting up 128 mini pools helps with that. So that's been really fantastic. And, Rocket Pool has been growing so well. These numbers are really exciting, because if we turned on Atlas today and everyone who was on the mini pool switched to switch to rETH, we would have the capacity to lift 360,000 rETH, like right now, which is without adding a single new node operator or a single new node operator ETH. It's absolutely amazing that, you know, we'll be in this position very soon. It's really exciting. Hopefully we'll have 200,000 rETH before Atlas goes live. I think that's an ambitious target, but it's possible. And if we get to that position where we have 200,000 rETH, then we can lift 400,000 rETH potentially with Atlas going live. It might be closer to somewhere like 300,000, maybe 350,000 at a push, because a lot of people won't move their mini pools from 16 to 20, from 16 to 8. Okay, and next then we have the report that Val mentioned in the message with the 6-month review. So let's have a quick look at the review. Sorry, that is cutting off the left of the screen. So Val says, hi folks, per RPIP 10, there should be a PDAO review of the IMC membership within 6 months of the management committee's creation. It's not well defined what that is. The IMC was also created before full voting process with nominations, etc. was fleshed out. A list was put together based on Discord chat and the whole slate was voted upon. With that in mind, what would you like to do? Keep happy enough and like to keep the current IMC? I think we should vote for the membership from scratch, and I think that'd be good to vote out specific members. See my feedback below. So no one has chosen that vote out specific members, and it seems like there's a 67-33% split for people saying they're happy with the IMC the way it is and keep it going. So as you can see, here's some context to help guide your thoughts. So we have Val, who's voted, created most of the transactions. Marceau has voted on every transaction or signed every transaction. Denham has signed most transactions. Langer's checked a lot of the transactions and signed some of the transactions. rETH has only signed one transaction. Dazer has signed most of the transactions. Whisker has signed most of the transaction. Jasper has signed about half the transactions, and Dave has signed 2 of the transactions. So, but has done executed some transactions as well. So, yeah, it seems like the group's quite balanced. I voted that I'm happy with it to carry on the way it is, and it seems like there's some discussion going on here, so maybe have a look. Yeah, have a look at that. So definitely check it out. Okay, next we have a couple of interesting things. We have this comment from Quadrax.eth. He said, how is there no rocket pool packages yet for Dappnode? I want to buy a ready to use Dappnode machine, install packages, done. So Dappnode is a one click software package for staking, and they sell the hardware that runs that software with those software packages. By having a rocket pool package, it'll be like a one click GUI integration, and that would be really great. So then there's a reply from the Dappnode team saying a package is in the making, which is really exciting. Jasper says glad to hear it, and yeah, it's really cool that that is happening. So fantastic. Next, I want to give a shout out to my main man Shifrin, who's really cool and is really stepping up in really fun ways in the community. I'm really happy to see just like all the great stuff that Shifrin is doing and all the great contributions he's making. But he had this tweet that went out, and he says, I'm not super well versed with the command line, but I set up a rocket pool node after reading 1 hour of documentation and purchasing around $600 in hardware. Now I'm supporting Ethereum and earning a yield on my ETH. And there's a picture of his NUC and connected to his modem and like his hardware setup. And this is absolutely amazing. You know, like this tweet got like 300 likes, over 300 likes, over 20 retweets, over 20,000 views. So like, I'm really happy that Shifrin's putting out the word for Rocket Pool, and it's really awesome. So keep it up. Okay, next we had this idea from Dondo, which is like an idea of a trading intern. So the Dondo kind of explains what that means. It says quality software engineering to internships tend to pay $6,000 to $8,000 a month, or around 200 RPL a month. The GMC gets $3,500 per month per period, yeah, every 28 days. So I think it's 3,200 actually. So the GMC could fund an internship perpetually for 5% of the current budget. Big caveat, I don't know how taxes work for DAOs. And then it says the core team may be too busy to handhold, but trading is never too busy for even the most inane topics. An intern could choose their own projects and report to the trading collective, or maybe to rocket scientists, without adding drag to the team. This would give them frequent feedback, essential for successful internship. IME. An internship with Rocket Pool would be a fantastic opportunity for a student interested in pursuing non-traditional career in Ethereum Web3. What better community to assimilate into and network in? Interns are a great way to recruit quality engineering talent. It could be very useful for the team to have proven candidates when hiring in the future. Interns could present their projects at Ethereum conferences, which is a great marketing and great example for other projects in the space. There may be external funding that could support one or more interns working on Rocket Pool. It's a great return on investment for Rocket Pool. So I think this is a really cool idea, or a great seed of an idea. And it's something that I think could be useful. I'm not sure what the intern would be working on, but of course, this Rocket Pool intern would be different from the Rocket Pool intern we have on Twitter. But yeah, this would be like a software engineer basically, or some kind of developer who is coming in and doing an internship. But yeah, I think that this is a really good idea. I have no idea what shape or form it will take. Maybe Dondo, you can write a bounty for this, and in the next round, and maybe, you know, the GMC will consider it. So thank you so much for sharing that information. Okay, so this is a really interesting thing that a tweet that Marceau sent out a few days ago. And he says, honestly, I have yet to see a liquid staking protocol with anything better than horrible branding, except maybe Coinbase and Alluvial, maybe, but they don't count. It's to the point where a competitor could meaningfully differentiate just by looking professional with a good website. So this goes back to a discussion that, you know, we've had over and over and over again about just how important branding is. So people who saw this tweet might not have listened to the community space last week, where Maverick confirmed that we're doing a refresh of the Rocket Pool website and also branding, as far as I know. Maybe I'm mistaken about that, but I really hope that, you know, we can step it up and do some good stuff with that, because all eyes are going to be on Rocket Pool going into Atlas and withdrawals, and we really need to make as good an impression as possible, and having sleek marketing is so important for that. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing I have here is a comment from Ferry, who is a new member of the community. He says, hey guys, it's Ferry here. I'm not part of the community, but I'm looking forward to get more involved. I'm running 2 mini pools, and I'm a Rocket Pool holder since ICO. Right now I'm listening to Whack with Patches, and that gave me the courage to introduce myself and offer my help to whatever I can contribute. And I said, hi Ferry, welcome. We're so happy you're here. There's so many ways you can help. You don't have to do as much as me or Patches to make your work count. Any amount is a good amount. And then Hani Abu says, how are your meme skills? And I said, Valdorf normally has a task or two he can use help on. And Ferry says, I'll DM him, thanks. So everyone was just like really friendly to, like, you know, a new community member. And Wall said, how many POAPs do you have? And Ferry said about 30 to 40. I'm not a hardcore collector. And Elfin Bob says, holding since ICO, impressive, well done. How did you find Rocket Pool back then? And he basically, and Hani Abu said, what other communities do you participate in? And Ferry says, a friend that usually gives me investment advice told me RPL is the best project I've ever seen. So I hope that friend is holding too, because these guys will be rich. And then Kev says, I'm your friend. And then Elfin Bob says, you've got great friends. But I think this whole encounter, and then look like Fornax saying, we're all your friends now, and Nick saying welcome, Hani saying, I'm your friend, and I said, this is one of the best communities I've ever come across. You've come to a great place. So I think this kind of welcoming is really typical for how, you know, we kind of welcome new people into the community. If you are listening to this, and if you know, hold RPL, or if you're in staking with Rocket Pool, like using rETH, or even if you're a node operator, and you're wondering what this community is all about, pop in, say hi, introduce yourself. You'll get nothing but warmth and affection, especially if you are saying that you want to contribute. You know, we're always looking for people to contribute. And that's something that, you know, we really encourage, and, you know, we will welcome you all with open arms, and we'll be really happy to have you with us. So yeah, if you're on the fence, come pop by into the Discord, come to the trading channel. General's like, well, no, you don't want to go to general, just come to trading. That's where the cool kids are. So yep. Okay, next we had this comment from Hodja, who actually won the last oDAO guest game that Fizz sets up every month for the rewards tree generation on rewards night. So he says cross-posting and trading for visibility if you want to do a beta test. And it says oDAO rewards tree submission guest ranking game. So then there's a link to Hodja's website. So basically he has made a front end that will he has a front end that will let you let's actually have a look at it and explain what it is. So let's go back to the guest, because I worked my way through it before we started. So it tells you how it works. You know, rank your oDAO candidates, get your hash, like encode it, post it on Discord, and then save the information, wait for consensus. Once consensus is reached, share your hash. So here's how you do it. You select 8 members, and now you get your hash. So you press that, and here's your hash. This is the code that you paste into Discord, and then this code down here is what you save, because that has your information, your salt, like your ID. So it's like not crackable. And then you can paste your stuff for bragging rights, like your order. And then once they says click to change your answer, and then you can verify. You press verify. It tells you what the order was. So I got 0.25. For a guess, that's off by 1 position. So I did really badly there, but I just randomly pressed all the numbers. So yeah, it's really nice the way that it's done. So that's a really cool front end. It'll definitely make it, because I've not taken part in the last couple because I couldn't be bothered to go and like hash it out and all that kind of stuff. But this would make it really easy for me to do that. So thank you, Hodja, for making this front end. Okay, next we had this information from Ken, who had information from the ETH Denver community call. And Ken is asking for help. Like he says they've received 15,000 plus applications for people to attend the event. Have we ordered enough swag? That's the first question. I think we should continue to ask for Rocket Pool volunteers at the booth. These are very large numbers, and more volunteers the better. The one-to-one experience for interaction with our potential new node operators. We have to process about 500 visitors per hour at these expected attendance numbers. So the numbers are just astronomical. Like over 3 days, like over 10 hours of the conference, I think, like we'll just be inundated with with people visiting the booth. Like maybe, you know, Ken's numbers here are quite optimistic, about 500 visitors per hour. Maybe we'll get 100 visitors per hour. But even at 100 visitors per hour, if we have 10 volunteers talking, we'll only be able to speak to people for 5 minutes. Sorry, 10 volunteers, 100 people, 6 minutes per person, which I think is a fair amount, but that means we need 10 volunteers for the booth the whole day. I volunteered for the booth the whole day for 3 days that I'm going to be there. That's pretty much my biggest thing that I'm looking forward to at ETH Denver, is just standing at the booth and talking to every single person who comes and wants to talk about Rocket Pool. It's really cool. So we need more people to do that. Come along. If you're in this Discord channel, if you're in trading, you know enough to talk to new people about it. Like, please sign up. We need you. It says they've received 2,000 speaker applications, 500 more than last year, which is really awesome. And there's more than 2 million plus in hackathon awards at the moment. And I'm sure people are going to be adding more to that. It says attendees will need to have installed MEW wallet on their phone to get build bucks, to get free food, drinks, and airdrops. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. So I need to install that wallet on my phone as well to get that. Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Thanks, Ken, for sharing that information. And yeah, I'm really excited about this because it's going to be my first ETH conference. So please sign up. Come to the ETH Denver channel or subthread, and no, it's a channel. Yeah, come to the channel. Ask about how you can volunteer. People will send you the forms and you can get volunteered up. Okay, finally, I want to finish with this thing that kind of spoke to me. Marceau made a tweet and he said, the best opportunities in crypto happen by being non-anon. don't let your OPSEC get in the way. So this kind of like changed my life. So I can only share my story. Bossy says, who's willing to post their picture? So obviously my picture is all over everywhere now. It's even my little icon on Discord. Like that's my face. But I kind of agree with Marceau here, right? Because being anon is fine and good and proper if you value your OPSEC so much. However, the opportunities you get access to by being a face and a voice and a name, or even not a name in some cases, but just like a face and a voice, I think really does add legitimacy to you as a human being, and that gives you opportunities that you might not get otherwise. Of course, there's countless examples of people who have stayed anon and done great contributions and like everything like that, but I think there's definitely an opportunity that comes with having your face and your name out there, and I'm living proof of that, right? Like the people that I've met, the conversations that I've had, the ways that I've contributed, none of that would have been possible if I didn't kind of like de-anonymize myself by putting my face out there and like sharing information about myself and my life and stuff. So I really support this, and I think that is something that we should all think about going forward into like this next bullish period, because there's the chance that really, really good things are going to happen, and you might be able to maximize that if you are more open about who you are as a person. Of course, that doesn't mean that you take your security like lightly. It doesn't mean that you should take risks with your security, like have everything on a hardware wallet, like have the keys like stored in a safe place, preferably away from you somehow, like dug in your back garden or in a bank safety deposit box, or using key splitting to save it in different places. Definitely take your security very safe, very like as a high priority, but maybe there is such a thing in the crypto community as taking it a little bit too far. But hey, like of people should only take the risks that they're willing to, and I think it might just give some people like food for thought. So I'm going to finish on that note. I know for sure, 100% for sure, that I have missed many things. I'm sorry about that. It's just like it got really overwhelming last week, and I just couldn't even get an episode out on Friday because there was just too much stuff. So I know for sure that I've missed stuff, but from tomorrow, hopefully I'll be back on top of everything, and hopefully, we won't get another Binance listing and things going crazy for a few days. But I hope you all have a great start to your week and a great week ahead. I will see you tomorrow, and yeah, be good to everyone. Bye.